Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Gotten a lot of requests for this one. It's the Athearn AC4400CW in both CSXY and 2 schemes and Southern Pacific with the UP patch. So let's see what you get in the box next. Now, full disclosure on this, these have been out of the box before. When I got these, I ran them right away, but I still want to show you the unboxing experience. The first time out of the box, there were still no broken parts or anything. Inside, you get AC4400 manual here with exploded parts diagram. It lists all the part numbers in case you're missing something. You can contact Athearn direct. Athearn news flyer, and the manual itself, which is 18 pages long. These haven't changed in quite a few years. The blue and gold talks about DCC, functions, handling and maintenance, etc. The locomotive itself, packaged in foam, and the plastic blister packaging. I'm going to go ahead and give that a tug here. And we lift a little clamp off here, get the locomotive out. It's got some truck immobilizers on it. As you see there, sometimes they come loose from the packaging. They are glued down, but not very well to the packaging. And we'll get the handrail protection removed and take a closer look. Okay, quick 360, going over some of the details. Sand filler hatches on the nose, LED headlights. You've got the door, cab door with window there, CSX number 1, which we'll go over a little later. Ditch lights, low mounted, as you can see down here towards the pilot. MU hose, coupler cut levers, the accessory hoses, and brake line hose with silver tipped in McHenry couplers that are plastic couplers from Athearn. The Sinclair antenna, along with a little small antenna, a separately applied grab irons on the windshields, or above the windshields, I should say. Windshield wipers. CSX number 1 here on the side. That's the Spirit of West Virginia. They named certain units different things, and CSX number 1 is the Spirit of West Virginia. Compartmentalized detail on the side, you can see that in the mold there. CSX, again, white into scheme. You've got the trucks, emergency shutoff, and sight glass for the fuel tank, and a lot of other detail I'm sure that you can point out that I am still, after all these years, not experienced enough to point out for you. But hey, I'm getting a little better. On the back end, brake wheel detail, the radiator fan grills on the side. Jacking pads here, and also those trucks again on the rear. Little yellow non-reflective, really, just yellow markings on each staircase sill, and the yellow sill on the CSX unit. More of the grab irons and such on the back. And as we go to the back here, pardon my new camera, it's a little touchy. You've got a sand filler hatch, stanchions with safety chain, got a little drop step that's permanently in place. Probably not really drop step, just a little sill there for coupling and going from locomotive to locomotive. MU here, spare coupler knuckles there. Silver tipped ends again on the accessory hoses and brake line hose, McHenry coupler on the rear. Now, one thing I will let you look at from here, it's a little rougher on this model than in past, or the handrails. We've got a bowing going on here. I'm not talking about the airplane manufacturer. I'm talking about a little bowing out going on right there on that one. And a little bit of handrail wave going on this model. More detail on this side, a lot of which I've already covered. Got the air dryer, I believe that is. sticking out right there. Kind of a silver appearance there. Fuel tank and air reservoirs and some plumbing there. Battery box doors, another compartment door that has a really nice latch detail to it as well. So that's nice. There's a slight cab tint. As you can see there, it's a very light cab tint, but it does exist. And we're back to the nose here. You also have the little GE manufacturer sticker. You can clearly see GE on that as well. We'll get some closer looks on the rails. Let's take a look at the Southern Pacific UP patch. Okay, obviously there's going to be some differences on the Southern Pacific UP patch. PTC antenna array, the latest and greatest in antennas on the rails right now. Yellow sill indicating this unit's past 2005 when the FRA required the yellow sill. The UP patch number 6289, obviously right there is nicely done. Southern Pacific on the side. And this is primed for grime, so it's a little faded and ready for weathering, which I still have not yet learned. On the front, more of the same detail, but you will notice the grab irons are there above the windshields. They're just painted the same color as the cab, so it blends in better. A faded SP on the nose here with a UP shield patched over it. Ditch lights are high mounted on this one versus the low mounted ditch lights on the YN2, so that indicates that there is road name specific detail. We're going to come around to this side here and you can see the dynamic brake fan grills there, radiator fan, exhaust up top, horn. A couple of things I didn't point out on the previous runs, and you'll also notice that on the CSX YN2 there was a set of 3 dynamic brake fans here. On this one there is 2, indicating a different build. So that's another spotting feature of the difference of the SP and the YN2. Radiator fan grills again on the back. I'm going to take a look at this on the side so you can see if we have some see-through there. And I believe we do. You can catch just the back of that. There is even a little see-through on the top grill. You could probably catch that at the right angle as well. Brake chain detail. Look at that. That's a real brake chain. That's pretty cool. It looks really nicely executed. Those trucks that are a lighter color are easier to see. And so you can see that detail a little better. And then you have the center roller bearing cap as well that turns. Well, that's about it. You've got a UP 6289 patch on the rear. But I don't want to spend too much time on 360s. Again, with the handrails, a little rough. That one's just out of its holder, but these are some of the rougher handrails I've seen from Athearn products in a little while. Nothing that can't be worked out, but just letting you know. Again, with the cab window tint, you've got about the same tint there. And I'll try to work that back in. I think I just did. So now that's back in its little place. Now you can see still some inward bowing on that one where there's outward bowing on the other one. And we're back to the front. Let's get to some of the other factors of this review, including weight, operation, and testing. I know it's probably hard to see. One of these days I'll get a different scale. Just not today. 21 ounces total, 594 grams, 1 pound, 5.0 ounces. So over a pound for this locomotive is pretty good. 210 grams, as I said, pretty good. So people can take my word for it, but there at that angle you can see it's 210 grams. So there, you don't have to think I'm lying. 594 grams, 1 pound. Before we go applying track power and shorting out the system with this, let's take a look at the coupler height. Looks like it's dead on there. And we'll go ahead and couple that. So you can see it coupled. And on the rear, get more in line with that. Appears to be dead on too. Couple it, give it a tug, and maybe slightly fractionally low, but pretty much dead on. We'll go ahead and apply track power, which should automatically start this Tsunami 2 decoder. Alright, so there is startup, and we're going to use the manual to look at some lighting and function features. The lighting will be done in the dark. Let's just go ahead and turn the headlight on. We'll check that out. Decently bright golden white LED, realistic in appearance. Bell. Horn. Short horn. Gotta finish the grade crossing sequence. 5 is ditch lights, and speaking of horn, those are gonna oscillate there. Okay, 5 and 6 are lighting effects, so we'll skip that for the dark. F7 is dimmer, which is also essentially a lighting effect. 8 is mute. 9, we'll take it to half volume with the alternate mixer. 10 is straight to 8 and sander valve, so we'll go ahead and hit that. So it's slowly going up there, and it really kind of works its way up to 8, kind of slowly on that straight to 8. I'm going to hit that again, and we'll bring it back down. 11's brake set release, 12 is brake select, 13's couple uncouple, we'll hit that one. I'm just choosing some random ones here. 15 is handbrake, we'll hit that one. 16's HEP mode on and off. 17's fuel loading sequence. 18 is general service sequence. 19 straight to idle. 20 is auxiliary HEP generator. 21 and 22 aren't used. 23 all aboard. Very realistic here. 24 and 25 lighting effects if equipped. 26 manual notch up. 27 manual notch down of the prime mover. And 28 is also not used. So there are all your functions listed on this AC4400CW. Alright, AccuTrack speedometer is on and set. We're going to move this at 1 speed step so you can see how smooth it is. And I know people comment that the kilometers per hour is lighting. That is just a status indicator that it's on and tracking. It is set to miles per hour. It is set to HO scale. They just made a poor choice on where to put that status indicator light. So we're at 1 speed step on my NCE ProCab system here, and we're exactly 1 scale mile an hour. Pretty good job by Athearn. And if I say so myself, seems pretty smooth at 1 speed step. So realistic speed control and very smooth. We're going to change directions because sometimes forward smoothness does not result in rear or reverse smoothness. So we're going to go reverse 1 speed step. Pretty smooth there as well. I see very minimum lurching on this unit. Almost zero, really. Alright, we're going to do a pull test here. It's about 3.5 it's bouncing around. It looks like it might have capped at 3.6. That is about 50 cars, 52 or 3 cars in HO scale. Not bad. I've seen better, I've seen worse. 2 of these will be able to pull a realistic 100-car consist, so that's good. Both of these units are equipped with 3 chime horns on the model itself, but let's go ahead and listen to the SP horn here. Once again, you have flashing ditch lights. I believe that's correct for XSP units. And just because you guys didn't get to see the SP in action, figure I'll show that to you now. You can see the rotating bearing caps on the trucks, 3 on the front and 1 centered on the rear, kind of hiding under the chain a little bit at this angle. But again, a very smooth unit, so I don't think you'll have a problem with this Genesis drive on any of these. Alright, we're dancing in the moonlight here, and as you can see, headlight and ditch lights are pretty bright. I'd say the ditch lights are slightly brighter than the headlight. Just making sure that Rule 17 lighting wasn't on. So F5 and 6 are lighting effects. So 5 handles ditch lights, 6 number board lights. So those number board lights look pretty good too in color temperature, and I don't see any shine through except for maybe a little bit on one corner on the inside, so not bad. You also see the ground lighting that is shining just above the track that helps the crew see if they're moving in dark situations. 24 and 25 are also lighting effects. I'll check those. See if we get anything. Oh, that's an old board, so I don't know why it did that. Unless I hit the wrong one. I might have hit the wrong one on that, but I don't see 24 as anything functioned. And 25 I don't see assigned either, but I'll double check that. That's 5, but not 25. So it looks like the lighting features are just the ones I listed. You will see at certain angles, as you can see right above that right ditch light, there is walkway lighting. We can swing around to the rear and look at that as well. So you can see the walkway light on the rear as well. I didn't want to put it in reverse just yet, so you can see that walkway light clearly. But once you hit reverse, you have the rear LED lights as well. And as you can see on the front of the track, it shines pretty good so those HO scale crews can see where they're going on your layout. Well, that's going to wrap up our review of the Athearn AC4400CWs. The only real negatives I can think of are kind of the wavy handrails, but you guys are the detail experts. You're always combing through my videos looking for things you find on the models, and that is why I provide a very clear picture so you can make your decision for yourself. Also, the other negative is maybe pulling power. It's not terrible. It's not great, but it's pretty good for 2 locomotives to be able to pull a full consist, which is what they can do here. So I don't have any negatives other than those that I could find during the review process. So with that said, I think these are really nicely detailed models. I think they're well executed. Handrails, can sometimes be reformed, or hopefully, they get fixed in the future again. But other than that, beautiful models and a much needed model, even though there are variations out there. People ask my opinion of scale trains versus Athearn. I can tell you it's pretty much a dead heat between the two, with the exception of the decoder. There's ESU people, there's Tsunami 2 people. ESU, I think, has a more rich sound quality, but this Tsunami 2 did impress me on the bass and the overall sound quality. So that's probably going to be what differentiates the two brands for your decision making. With that said, I'll leave you with a run by. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time right here on the channel. Take care.
Many of the products you see in this video are available at trainworld.com. Since 1968, this family-owned business has been serving the needs of the modeling community with 2 New York brick-and-mortar store locations in Brooklyn and Long Island, plus their vast array of online items. Shop 24/7 at trainworld.com.